Welcome to Everyday Martial Artist, a weekly podcast where you'll join me, Brian Doucette, as I interview a different martial artist each episode and hear their story. Some guests you may have heard of, and some you probably haven't. Be sure to subscribe where all your favorite podcasts are available. Also visit our website at everydaymartialartist.com. If you're listening for a specific interview, I sure hope you'll stay and check out the other episodes. A very special thank you to Topher Williams for our custom theme music. And now, the newest episode of Everyday Martial Artist. Everyday Martial Artist is brought to you by KOOnline.com for all your martial arts needs. Sparring and safety gear, rank belts, uniforms, weapons, patches, and more. Wholesale supplies made by martial artists for martial artists. Visit us today at ko-online.com. You know, one question I ask every guest on Everyday Martial Artist is about their favorite martial arts book. And there's never been one quite like Martial Theory by Steve Pearlman, described as the art of war for the martial arts. Martial Theory helps any martial artist or instructor take their understanding and teaching to the next level. And at martialtheoryU.com, you'll find a global community with instructor groups, Q&A with Steve, live events, and demonstrations to help you apply martial theory directly to your training. It's not just a book, it's a movement. Find Martial Theory on Amazon, and when you join martialtheoryU.com, use discount code EverydayMA for 20% off. That's under $20 a month for life. That's martialtheoryU.com, code EverydayMA. Hello and welcome to the Everyday Martial Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Doucette. And as we do every week, we're joined by a brand new guest talking about their life and their journey throughout the world of martial arts. My guest today is a living link to the roots of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and one of the art's most respected teachers. Born into the legendary Machado family of Rio de Janeiro, he grew up immersed in a tradition that helped shape modern Jiu-Jitsu as we know it. Under the direct influence of Grandmaster Carlos Gracie Jr., he developed a deep principle-based understanding of the art, one rooted not just in technique, but in timing, leverage, and adaptability. After relocating to the United States, he became a central figure in spreading Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu worldwide, earning a reputation as a teacher of teachers. His influence can be felt across generations of practitioners, from everyday students to world champions and pioneers of MMA. Known for his smooth, effortless style and his emphasis on efficiency over strength, he's helped redefine what effective jiu-jitsu looks like on the mat and beyond. It's an honor to welcome to the show Mr. Rigan Machado. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very good, sir. What a pleasure.
It's my pleasure. I'm extremely honored to have you on the show, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you about your martial arts journey.
Oh, please. Ask any question, my friend.
All right. Well, what we do with all my guests, obviously, it's with the name. Everyone kind of knows you were born into it, pretty much. But I'd like to know how it started for you. Where that first interest in martial arts, that first experience, that spark that kicked off your martial arts journey.
Yeah, my first experience was the relationship I have with my cousins. In base, like the relationship I have with my cousins was through my mother's sister, Lair Grace, who married the founder of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Carlos Gracie.
Okay. And do you remember how old you were when you first saw
I started
Jiu-Jitsu?
very early. I started around 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
With my older cousins, and little by little moved to Rio de Janeiro and started doing full time.
Okay. Before that, had you experienced any other martial arts, or was Jiu-Jitsu the first one?
I did some boxing, some little things like that.
Okay.
But nothing too extreme, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did judo, I did some things like that. But my major martial arts was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay. And coming from Brazil, did you ever try capoeira?
I did like it for fun a little bit as a child, like teenager, but not like the real capoeira guys in Brazil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I read that you really didn't start taking it very serious until you around the age of 14. So from about 5 until 14, how often were you training? Were you doing it daily?
We train for fun, like the cousins and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line, I start like real take serious when they moved to Rio de Janeiro.
Okay.
And when I moved to Rio de Janeiro, that's when I moved to live with my uncle Carlos Gracie in his house. That's when the Jiu-Jitsu started getting very serious.
Oh, okay. And then did you start training every day then?
Jiu-Jitsu, I start training 3 times a day.
3 times a day at the age of 14. Wow.
It was a full-time job.
Okay.
Like
Okay. And then what about, did you get into competition at that young age?
Yeah, was a full-time competition. Was like my business was to train and compete almost every weekend.
Every weekend. Wow. And did you start having success right away, or did that come a little later?
No, I started to have success right away.
Okay.
I started at a good results because I train, I believe, on the top schools in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I have like I survived the train. The competition for me was not the toughest. My toughest was the training, everyday training.
Okay. And which of your cousins was the toughest that you got to train with?
No, I have everybody's tough. It's no like easy ride. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Yeah, each one give you some different techniques, some different feeling.
Okay.
You know?
Nice. And at what age did you start teaching it also?
I come assisting right away. Around 15, I come to assist my coach to teach the kids class with them and get use as a partner to some of the private lessons and stuff. Was super cool, you know.
Mm-hmm. And back then, how young were they teaching children in Brazil back then? How young did they start them?
We have kids from all the age, from 5 to 15.
Okay, so that was pretty normal to teach kids that young.
Yeah.
Cool. And then at what age did you decide to move to the U.S.? When did that happen?
Yeah, in my 22, 23, I have opportunity to move to the United States. I have opportunity to connect with Rigan Gracie.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Carlos Gracie helped me to establish. I start teaching with him in the garage with Royce and Rickson.
Mm-hmm.
And little by little, my brothers, little by little, start showing up. And pretty soon, the Machado group, all the brothers will come to America. And that's how I started everything.
Okay. So then those 8 or so years you were in Rio de Janeiro before you moved to the U.S., at that time, was it pretty much strictly known as Gracie Jiu-Jitsu? And was the name Machado well known, or was it just Gracie?
Basically, we part of the Gracie. We're not like Machado. Machado
Okay.
was something later developed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Machado come later. You know what I mean? Was something when the brothers opened the first school, and that's when we at the first school we come in. We say, okay, let's add the Machado brothers or something like that. That's how we start everything.
Okay. And what belt did you get to before you moved to the U.S.?
I was a black belt already. When
You were okay, and that was under Carlos Jr., correct?
Carlos Gracie Jr.
Yes.
and Carlos Gracie.
Okay. And is there a specific reason did you come to the U.S. because of your cousins? Is there another reason you wanted to move to the U.S.?
I have a cousin named Cesar Gracie
Mm-hmm.
who live here, and he was the one who motivated me to come to America.
Had you visited before? Had you been to the U.S., or was that your first time?
No, first time.
Really? And so what were kind of your first thoughts when you got to the U.S.?
My first thought when they come to United States was because I always heard about the United States,
Mm-hmm.
and Caesar was the one who pushed me to come. He always said good things. The opportunity here is better than Brazil. And the United States is magical. When you arrive in America, is the best country in the world. It's an honor for me to come a USA citizen. For me, it's amazing. I feel blessed.
Nice.
We appreciate the opportunity I have.
Okay. And what was the first city you moved to? Did you move to Los Angeles first? Did you move
Los
to
Angeles? Los
Angeles? Okay. Nice. Yeah, that's a nice area. I lived there. I lived and worked in Los Angeles for a year in 1996, 1997. I miss it, especially in the winter, because I'm in Minnesota, and right now it's, I think, 11 degrees below zero, and there's snow on the ground.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, me too. I would rather be in California, that is for sure. So, and now when you first started, did they already have a school? I remember reading at one point they were teaching out of their garage.
Yeah, the garage.
Okay. So was it pretty much then just teaching for friends and stuff, or did they have a...
No, the Rigan Gracie have a good system to teach privates.
Okay.
You know,
and how do you know like how they were finding students? I mean, because back then no one really knew what jiu-jitsu was.
Rigan already have assisting market. Holly was the business behind the beginning of Jiu-Jitsu. Holly was very smart, very organized, and he was able to get a lot of students right away.
Okay. And did you start teaching and helping teach right away too?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were teaching also private lessons, or were you assisting with other private lessons?
Private lessons.
Okay. Nice. And were those mostly, I mean, when you first started teaching, was it well known? Because I know like right now, you teach people like from Hollywood and stuff. Was it the same back then, or was it just regular people who wanted to learn?
No, it was a mix. No? It was, I didn't teach many people in Hollywood in the beginning.
Okay.
I teach, yeah.
And so do you remember one of the first students you taught back then that actually stuck with it and got their black belt? How that was?
I had one guy named Bob Bass. He trained for me for a long time. He actually was one of the, I believe, the first black belt in the United States.
Really?
I believe, yeah.
Okay. That's kind of cool. Nice. So thinking about, I mean, when you turned 14, you got really serious about it. What was it about it? What did you enjoy about jiu-jitsu? What made you want to do it? What made you want to make it part of your life forever?
For me, it was to be around my cousins, and I never think much. I just want to have a good time, and to have a chance to hang out with friends and training. And was fun. For me, it was the best time ever.
Okay. And as far as competition goes, do you remember your first competition in the United States?
I start practice. I always compete all the time. Mm-hmm. I start competing judo, wrestling, anything I couldn't put my hands on. I try to compete just to keep the vibe, you know what I mean?
Okay. And do you remember, you said you started teaching right away when you got into it. What made you want to keep teaching? What did you enjoy about teaching?
It was fun for me. For me, just to have a chance to share your knowledge with different people, for me, is fantastic. For me, it was amazing to have a chance to be in a different country, share your knowledge with people who really appreciate what you teach them. Was experience. I really like it.
Okay, nice. And what do you think, thinking back to when you were 15 years old and you were an assistant instructor, and right now you've been teaching for all these years, what do you think has changed about your teaching style over all these years?
It's experience, man. More you teach, better you get. The moment you enjoy what you're doing, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I love teaching. I love to show people, to share knowledge.
Yeah. Okay. And what led to the decision to open your own school, step away from your cousin and open your own school? What brought that on, and walk us through that process?
I think it was Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris wanted us to open a school, and we moved to the Valley. It used to be in South Bay. When we moved to the Valley, we started teaching. We opened the first school because Chuck Norris.
Okay. And yeah, you guys remain pretty close to, and you're still close to Chuck, I believe, correct?
Yes. It's like a bigger brother.
Nice. And that was mid to late 80s when you met Chuck?
Yeah.
Do you remember how you met him? Did he find your school?
I have friends. My brother Carlos was the first one I have opportunity to meet him. Yeah, after a while, we teach at the garage. And John Will and another guy named Richard Norton brought him to train. And after this, we start training more often.
Yeah, Richard was, I was lucky enough. I got interviewed Richard about 2 years ago. He's such an amazing person.
Nice guy.
Yeah, very, very nice guy. And then I'm assuming is Chuck the one that kind of got you into Hollywood and get you to start doing some TV shows and stuff, movies?
Yes. 100%.
Did you, when you were younger, was that ever a thought in your mind that you wanted to be in movies or TV shows?
No, not at all.
Okay. Talk about some of those, like the first movie you ever did, kind of how that happened and some experiences from that.
It started like if Chuck Norris, actually, Texas Ranger. From there, little by little, start having fun doing other stuff, like other shows.
Okay. Yeah, I remember a few of the episodes of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think Texas Ranger was the one who pushed us.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the one episode, I think it took place in a bar where some guys were messing with Chuck and a few of the Machado.
Exactly. That was the first one.
I remember watching that episode live, and I'm like, hey, that's the Machado brother. That's pretty cool. So That was fun. I read somewhere that you're actually becoming a director.
Yeah.
Is that the movie Blow for Blow?
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
Little by little time, you start like get to meet so many celebrities. After a while, you start thinking like, wait a minute, maybe let's learn about this business. What's the chance to produce, direct, do something fun? And little by little, I start study. I start to understand how to do it, and I start produce, start getting involved in to learn the steps to try put the film together.
Okay.
And it was a challenge, a new experience, something cool to try.
And what's the movie about? What can people expect
It's
when they
about
see it?
bullies, about kids get bullied, and the love of a father.
Okay.
And the father is based, the story is about the father. You respect my son, you're going to have a problem for me. That's what the movie is about. It's about the love of the father to the son.
Okay. And I see a few, John Machado and John Machado are both in it. So
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. And when is that going to be released? Does it have a release date yet?
It's in Tubi for free.
Uh-huh.
You can watch over there, the stream Tubi.
Oh, it's already on there?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I'll put a link on that when the episode comes out. I didn't realize it was out yet, or I would have watched it before we chatted. Okay. Very cool. I'm excited for that. And then are you still acting too, or are you going to focus on directing now?
I think I'm more directing.
Okay. Do you have another project ready to go, or it's something that you want to do?
I try put together another film,
Okay.
zombie movie, like action, zombie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try. It's still in development. I don't know how far yet, how long it'll take. But I believe pretty soon we're going to move on. We're going to.
Very cool. Let me know when that comes out. I will, if you get a new one going in development, I will watch for it and promote it for you. That's kind of cool. I'm just looking through your list. I mean, you've done you've been in like what, 20 to 30 movies probably and TV shows?
There's small shows here and there, friends, you know what I mean, but nothing too big.
Yeah.
Just have a good time.
Yeah. Pretty much, teaching is what you're doing full time, and then when you have time, you'll do a movie or TV show.
Teaching full time.
Okay. And do you still compete at all?
No, because right now I'm close to my 60s,
and
my body has so many little injuries. I focus more on teaching.
Yeah. Any of your current students people should watch for that are having really good success?
Yeah, always have some success. We have like all the brothers like Carlos, John, everybody have a lot of students competing. But have so many students. You have students compete everywhere.
Okay. And what about MMA? Do you coach people in MMA currently, or?
Used to do, not as much more on the past.
Okay. And is that something you ever had a passion for, MMA for yourself, or strictly jiu-jitsu?
Strictly jiu-jitsu.
Okay. And so were you at when the UFC launched, were you at the first few and watching them?
No, I love UFC. Any chance I have, I love to watch UFC.
Okay, cool. So as a fan of MMA and the UFC, did you prefer the old school from back in the 90s when there was almost no rules, or do you like what it is now?
I love what it is right now, because now is more entertainment. You have time frame. It's very nice to watch.
Yeah. Okay. And I've noticed, I looked on Amazon, you've written a few books also. What kind of led you to want to write some books?
No, it's more like picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like techniques with pictures and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about like a Rigan Machado autobiography? Any chance of maybe writing your own story?
I hope so one day.
Yeah. Was that something you'd want to write yourself, or have someone else write it for you? What do you think?
I don't know yet, because right now I didn't have opportunity to talk about, but I'm open for the future now.
Okay.
Now,
and since you've moved to the U.S., have you dabbled in any other styles of martial arts and trained in other styles, or have you?
I love wrestling. Wrestling is a big passion I always have.
Okay. Is that like Greco-Roman wrestling, or?
At Greco-Roman freestyle, that's something I always have a lot of passion to learn.
Okay.
And I was very lucky to have opportunity to train with great wrestlers and great people in wrestling.
Nice. Do you ever do any weapons training?
Little beef, Daniel Santo, but not much.
Okay. Do you have a favorite weapon that you've trained with?
I like knives, man. Knife is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had the pleasure of meeting Dan. I've want to. I've interviewed his son-in-law Ron and his daughter Diana, but I've never got to meet Dan Inosanto. I'd love to meet him someday.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, that's what I've heurt. Everyone I talk to says he's such a nice guy.
Super nice.
So you talked about having a bunch of little injuries and stuff, and so what's the worst martial arts related injury you've ever had?
I think my worst injury is the neck.
Yeah.
My neck. Yeah.
Did you have to have surgery on it, or?
No, just like injured
Okay.
the disc a little bit. But
when it gets bad, does it prevent you from practicing, or do you still practice?
Sometimes it gets stiff. When it gets stiff, I avoid to do anything.
Okay.
Right.
And when you went off and opened your own school, now the place you're at now, is that the same school? Have you moved a few times?
Yeah, I used to have a school in Hollywood, Glenwood, Santa Monica, Redondo Beach, but my focus, my school right now is in Beverly Hills.
Okay. Talk about that school. If somebody walks in the door, what can they expect? How often do you have classes?
In Beverly Hills, I have group class, everything, but my focus 100% is private.
Okay. And then someone else, do you also have group classes that other people teach then?
No, I have group class. I have a group class Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Okay. And how often are you teaching private lessons usually?
I have guys, a lot of students that have to go to the house.
Oh, okay. And are you doing that almost every day then?
Yeah, almost every day.
Okay. Yeah, I seen like on your website, seeing pictures of you, with like Ashton Kutcher and Keanu Reeves. And so I have to ask, Keanu Reeves, I mean, everyone you talk to says he's like the nicest person in the world. Is that true? Is he really that nice?
He's that nice.
That's awesome. I know sometimes you hear about some actors that they people think they're nice, and when you meet them, they're not. But everyone I've talked to that has met Keanu said he's just so down to earth and so nice and easy to talk to.
Nice.
That's awesome. And is he? I mean, he seems like the kind of person that would really take this seriously. And I mean, if he were to enter a tournament, you think he'd do pretty well?
Keanu Reeves is a movie star, man. He is very good on the movies. I don't think he's on a focus in competition. It's not like Tom Hardy, Mario Lopez, these guys.
Okay.
They like competition.
Yeah. Okay. That's okay though. Nice. So is there you said you've been around martial arts your whole life since you're about 5 years old. Is there one philosophy that you've learned through martial arts that is just really important to you?
It's pretty simple. I think it's very important you love what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I did everything for love. I never thinking about anything. I did jiu-jitsu because I have a great time. It was a great way to have a good relationship with my friends. We always go on the mat. We always have fun. My cousins, my brothers, we have something connect us. We always, me and my brothers, when you have a chance to talk about jiu-jitsu, always good time. Mm-hmm. Still today, every chance we have, we connect, we're talking about jiu-jitsu, we have fun. I think jiu-jitsu something who bring people together.
Okay. So, back, when you first got here, there wasn't that many jiu-jitsu schools, where nowadays most major cities have probably a couple jiu-jitsu schools. So if I have a listener who's never done it, but they're thinking about it, what are some tips you would give them? What should they look for in a school?
To check the school, to check the background, to talk, to be sure to do a little research, to be sure it's a good coach, good people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And is there a way, if someone wants to, I mean, the internet's out there, but I mean, it's pretty easy to tell now if someone's legitimate. You can pretty much just get on Google and really find out.
Everything online today. You check online, I think.
Yeah. Okay. And when you were competing, when you were like that 10-year span where you were competing all the time, Did you travel did you go around the world to compete, or was it mostly in Brazil, mostly in the US, or did you travel?
Every chance I have to compete, I try to find a competition was a passion. Any chance I have to have a competition, I travel. I didn't care. The most important, I want to have the fun.
Okay. So you yourself then, as a teacher and a coach, was it more stressful for you when you were competing or watching your students compete?
Watch my students compete 100%.
Okay. Nice. That's about 50-50. I'm surprised when people answer that, because it's pretty much split down the middle on how that is. So I like that. When it comes to jiu-jitsu, when it comes to you as a teacher, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want to be known? When people hear, the name Rigan Machado, what do you want them to think about when it comes to jiu-jitsu?
Just love jiu-jitsu, try help people, try be a nice person. You know what I mean? I think the moment you have a chance to share your sport with people and people learning, I think that's what it's about. I think jiu-jitsu bring people together. The sport is a good sport. It's something super cool. I think you have a chance to share your knowledge with people. Always, I like that. You know what I mean?
Right. And I was reading, when talking about competition, did I read that, from age 14 to 21, you won the Brazilian national championships every year and every belt division you entered in?
Yes.
Wow. Thinking back over all of your matches, who do you think was your hardest component to compete against? Your hardest opponent?
The hardest competition I had was a competition. I forgot the name of the competitor, but I think in the competition, I did a mistake, and I hit my head on the ground.
Ooh.
And I got very dizzy for more than 70% of the fight. And barely figure out to try recover because I completely lost sense about where the fight. In basic, I was dizzy.
Wow.
At the end of the fight, I was able to understand you know what I mean, the balancing stuff in base. I was able to recover in the last minute. I was able to submit my opponent in the last minute. But for me, after finish, uh, I have to go to a doctor. I have a strong concussion on the head.
Wow.
I hit my head. I sleep on the mat. I end up hit my head on the ground. I got very dizzy. To be able to finish the fight was fantastic.
Okay. Wow. I mean, luckily you were okay. I mean,
I'm okay.
Probably could have been very serious. So for people who don't know, and maybe you can't answer this, but when people hear jiu-jitsu, they think either Japanese jiu-jitsu or Brazilian jiu-jitsu. If someone wasn't sure and you had to describe how, like, the difference, how is Brazilian jiu-jitsu different from Japanese jiu-jitsu?
I think the Brazilian jiu-jitsu is more the ground fight, no?
Mm-hmm.
I think the other jiu-jitsu include throws, include a lot of things like that.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know you said you were never really, passionate about you yourself competing in MMA, but let's say you were going to compete in MMA. What would your walk-up music be? What song would be playing as you're walking into the cage?
I like old rock and roll, no? Some old style of rock and roll. Like that was my style of song. Like I'm like old fashioned. I love blues, jazz.
Nice.
Rock and roll from the 80s and stuff like that. The 70s.
It's like Rolling Stones or something like that.
Oh, Rolling Stones, the best for sure.
Nice. Okay. So you're a big music lover then?
Not much. Just love music. Like when you travel, when you're driving, you know what I mean. Work out. I love to listen to music.
Okay. I like that though. That's good. All right. Who are 3, 4, 5 names you would put on your personal Mount Rushmore of martial arts?
The MMA?
It can be MMA, it can be traditional. It's completely up to you. I mean,
Carlos Gracie.
Okay.
Carlos Gracie, Helio Gracie, Rickson.
Nice. So did you ever compete against Rickson?
Yeah.
Nice. I bet that was a hell of a match.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you two are probably considered two of the best ever at it, so that would have been fun to watch.
It was a good fight. Yeah, both did the best.
Okay, nice. I'm trying to remember if I ever met Hickson when I was in California. I know he was at an event I was at, but I don't think I actually got to meet him. So he'd be another one that'd be fun to meet. Okay. How about a favorite martial arts book other than one of your own? Do you have yourself a favorite martial arts book?
Martial arts book.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Martial arts book is I love to watch books about what I do, like wrestling books, like wrestling. Like
Okay.
I think someday I love watching judo books.
Okay.
Like Jigoro Kano books.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Those books, I love that because give you the foundation of the sport.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. How about a favorite martial arts video game? Did you ever get into video games?
I love the Street Fighter.
Nice. Okay. So are you excited for the new Street Fighter movie coming out?
Oh, I hope, yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch.
Okay, cool. All right. How about a favorite martial arts TV show?
I love the new show called Warriors.
Oh, so good.
It's on Netflix about the Bruce Lee stuff. I really like the show.
Yeah, that's a really good show. That's a fun one. A lot of people enjoy that one. All right. Now this one, you can't pick one that you've been in, but a favorite martial arts movie.
Enter the Dragon for sure. Enter the Dragon.
Okay. So you're a big Bruce Lee fan then. Okay. So with Enter the Dragon, did you go see it in movie theaters 2 years ago when they re-released it for the 50th anniversary?
No. I remember watching Brazil.
Okay.
As a kid.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one. That was the first time I ever saw it on the big screen. I mean, I own the DVD, but seeing it on the big screen was kind of cool. So, okay. All right. How about a favorite movie fight scene? Any movie, doesn't have to be a martial arts movie. I mean, people pick like Star Wars and Marvel.
John Wick for me. The first one was my favorite.
Yeah, nice. So, in your opinion, has there been any movies that show really good jiu-jitsu yet?
John Wick. John Wick is my favorite.
Okay, nice. Okay. So if they decided to make a movie about the Machado brothers, who do you think would be a good person to play you in the movie?
I don't know. I hope a good actor. Man.
Yeah. Would you want a well-known actor or an unknown?
I don't know.
No? Okay. That's okay though. So what do you have any new projects coming up? Any other I said you're possibly working on a new movie. Any new TV shows you're going to be in or anything people can watch for?
I try to put together this movie to shoot. Right now is the tough part because you're going to all the financing.
Ah, yes.
And, that's what I try to focus to go to all the finance, all this stuff.
Okay, cool. What would you say to someone who's never done martial arts in their life and they're thinking about getting into it? What would you do to just encourage them? Because like, in my opinion, I think everyone should try it at some point in their life, some kind of martial arts. What are some encouraging words you would give someone who's never done martial arts in their life? Just
to try now you can try and get the feeling what's the class, first class or true class. Just to give you a base what it is. Because a lot of people don't do because they don't have no idea what it's about.
Okay. Well, before I let you go, is there just any last minute parting words that you want to leave people with? And I'll put a link for your website. I'll put a link for your movie to come out and everything like that. But is there any last minute words you want to leave the listeners?
I think the most important thing, be a good person. You know what I mean? Fight for every day for values, you know what I mean? Friendship, family values. I think things like that is very important for me.
Okay, awesome. Well, sir, this has been so much fun. I enjoyed hearing your story, especially hearing it directly from you, because I've read a lot about you, and the first time we've got to chat, and I really, really enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed it too, but I think my listeners are really going to enjoy hearing your story.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You have yourself a good evening.
You too, sir.
Wrap up today's episode by taking your own training to the next level with Martial Theory by Steve Perlman, the book that's redefining martial arts thinking. Find Martial Theory on Amazon today. Join the worldwide movement at martialtheoryu.com, where you'll find Q&A sessions, live events, and direct guidance from Steve himself. Use code EverydayMA for 20% off for life. That's martialtheoryU.com, code EverydayMA. Thanks for listening to Everyday Martial Artist. We hope you will join us every week for a brand new episode with a different martial artist telling their story. If you enjoy the show, be sure to leave us a review. Also, be sure to check out our website at everydaymartialartist.com. There you can find all of our episodes and contact us to suggest guests and ask questions. Again, thanks for listening to Everyday Martial Artist, and we'll see you next week.